Welcome to the Healing Pen and a Mic Companion Podcast. Today we are here with Donya Dawson. Donya was a participant in our workshop today, and we talk about her story, the power of creative writing, healing, all of those things that are so important and often overlooked. I must mention that we are also in the beautiful Molly Center in St. Paul. And if you are in the St. Paul area, please make sure you stop by and check out the Molly Center. There's fitness, there's wellness, there's health. There's so many things to offer in this community hub. Donya, thank you so much for joining me for this companion podcast. And thank you so much for being a valued participant in the workshop today.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Donya, in your own words, can you share a bit about what brought you to this point in your journey?
Are you referring to like where I am right now after cancer?
After cancer?
Yeah, I gotta sit with that one for a second. What brought me to this point? I don't know. I think a lot of like learning and trials and error and successes and failures just really, like, I would say where I am right now, I had to learn who I am. I had to learn, like, I had to learn how strong I am. I had to learn that cancer did not define me and does not define me. I think cancer gave me power. Like who I am right now today, I always say that I would never wish cancer on anyone, but I truly do believe that me going through cancer allowed me to have the voice that I have today, allowed me to show up in the way that I show up now. I always say I'm talking about it too much, but I'm so grateful for the voice that I now have after cancer.
Wonderful. That's beautiful, Donya. I'm so happy for you that you found your power and your strength. And I'm so glad that you are 5 years old, correct?
Not quite. January 31st, I will be 5 years old.
Okay. So January 31st, we're going to put some good vibes in the air. January 31st of 2026, we're going to put some good vibes in the air for Donya and her 5th year anniversary. We all know how important it is to hit that 5-year mark. So Donya, we're rooting for you.
Thank you.
To that point, Donya, please tell the listeners out there a little bit about your diagnosis.
I do regular mammograms, and so I went in for a mammogram on August 26, 2020, so during COVID. And after my mammogram, I went home, got a call from the doctor. The doctor said, "We need you to come back." I wasn't really worried about coming back because I had to come back before in the past because I have dense tissue. And dense tissue just means that it makes it harder for them to be able to see things in your breast. I went back on September 3rd and I was there for 2.5 hours. I knew I had cancer. I knew I had cancer because they were running so many tests and I just knew. I was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma, and I don't really know like what went through my head. It was fear, it was frustration, but I never could ask like why me. I couldn't ask why me because I knew that there was someone else going through something worse than me. So I cried, I screamed, I yelled. I told just a handful of people. I didn't tell my family, I didn't tell my mom, I didn't tell anyone because I knew at that moment I had to put a plan in place. I had to figure out like what next. The doctor said, take a month to really think about what you want to do. And I was like, I'm not taking a month. I don't have a month. I reached out to 2 other doctors, gave them permission to see my charts and asked them like, how would you treat me? What steps would you take to treat me based on the steps that the doctor I had seen shared with me? And once I got all that information, I knew how I was going to move forward. I knew that September 28th, that was the day I started chemo, and I had a whole year of chemo, 6 months of extremely harsh chemo, 1 year of Herceptin, which is like a preventative maintenance after you go through the harsh stuff, 16 rounds of extremely harsh radiation, a lumpectomy, a partial mastectomy. Even still today, I would say that I have so much pain in my left side, which is where the breast cancer was, that I'm always worried about cancer coming back because of the scar tissue. It's like I'm worried all the time. I check my breasts every single day, which is probably like the wrong thing to do. But I sometimes live in fear, and I need to get past that and find a way to live in faith versus fear.
Wow, Donya, thank you so much for sharing your story. And I know that it will really help a lot of people out there listening. I heard so many different things interwoven in your story, but I really love where you've landed right now. And it sounds like you are really focused on the healing portion and enjoying life more. Another thing that I find so interesting is that there's no manual to prepare us for cancer. I mean, there isn't one. Listening to other stories, that's very helpful. It can give you some things to think about, but it's not really the same as when it's you actually living through it. As a reminder to the folks out there listening, we're live here at the Molly Center. We have just wrapped up the Healing Pen and a Mic journaling workshop, and this is the podcast companion. Donya, I would love to know, how do you feel writing and sharing stories can be a form of healing, in your opinion?
I'm just going to use today as an example. Going through the journaling session here with the healing pen, I didn't know what to expect, but it brought out so many things that I didn't know that I still had inside of me. It also woke me up to understand that everything that I thought I knew and everything that I thought I was doing right, I was still holding on to so much more. And this opportunity today really made me think about things differently. It made me realize that I had to be honest with myself about releasing all that I was holding on to. So I'm so grateful for this session because I had not released everything that I was holding on to. And today's opportunity gave me a chance to do that.
Anya, we're so honored that you joined us today. You added so much hope and inspiration and encouragement to everyone there. And I know that the folks out there listening will get more encouragement from hearing your story. A couple more questions, Danya. How has your journaling practice and your experience with this workshop really changed the way you talk about your health and healing journey?
I would say that I really try to go into it with positivity, like the negative energy that we often hold on to when we think about like what cancer looked like and what it might look like if it comes back again, or, just all that we hold on to. This journaling really gives you an opportunity to release that. So as you're talking to others about it, you can bring some of that positivity that you have been able to release to those other people. Everything that I'm journaling, I think, allows me to be able to touch someone else in a different light because I've now been able to release some of those heavier things that I was holding on to.
I hope that anyone out there listening will feel encouraged from what Danya has just shared. Journaling is a way that you can get those thoughts out of your head and onto paper to just open up your emotional reservoir, so to speak, so that you can receive love and positivity, hope and healing. So always consider journaling as a way to work through some of the feelings and emotions that you're experiencing, but it's never, never a replacement for talking with a mental health therapist or a social worker. Keep that in mind. Finally, Danya, as we wrap up here, what message or piece of advice would you share with someone who is feeling isolated in this moment on their journey?
I think the things that I would share with others is to really just make sure you reach out to someone, even if it's one person. Reach out to them because what you're going through, like cancer, is so heavy. No one is ever going to understand what you are going through if they have not gone through cancer. But that one person who hears you and sees you and really is the person that is guiding you and helping you to get through it, reach out to that person. Reach out to that person if that's the only person that you have, because going through this journey, you need someone. You need someone that shows up for you. You need someone that sees you. You need someone that is going to be the strength that you might not necessarily have to get through it, because it's tough, And if you don't have that someone, find a resource. There are so many resources out there for you that will help you get through it. Just figure out a way to find someone else to just help you get through it.
Donya, thank you so much for your wise words. Thank you for being a fabulous participant today. Keep healing, keep thriving. And that wraps up our talk today with Donya at the Healing Pen and a Mic podcast and journaling workshop. I hope that you found the information that Donya has shared very helpful. And Donya, I almost forgot. So you will be doing a retreat. I know you don't have all the details ironed out, but what can you tell us now so I can share it in the show notes for this episode?
Oh, yes. My organization is Healing Roots, a connected community. And on February 7th, 2026, I will be hosting a retreat. And the retreat is really just about like a moment for you. Like all that we go through in life, this would be a moment for you to just come and relax and release and just have that moment for you. It's a moment for healing. It's a moment for releasing all the negative thoughts or feelings that you might be going through. It is really not a spa, but kind of a spa day just for you to be able to show up for yourself.
Whatever information Donya has available at the time of release of this episode, I will be sure to include that in the show notes. If you are in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota area, February 7th, we would love to see you there. So stay tuned for that. And that wraps up this episode with Donya Dawson at the Healing Pen and a Mic Journaling and Podcast Workshop. Thank you so much, Donya.
Thank you.